to the other hand. Kind of another nice ending. Have fun with that. Hey, Tiffany, how would you like to see a trick?
I'd love to.
Well, I need to borrow some money. Can I borrow a quarter?
Okay.
I always do my tricks with other people's money. All right, great. Now, in order that that quarter can be recognized as your quarter, I want you to put an initial or any kind of mark on the George Washington side there that we'll recognize.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to put your, a T for Tiffany, I guess. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to do the other side. We'll put a little signature. In fact, what I'll do is put a happy face. How's that? It'll make a big old round face. Since we got a George Washington on one side, we'll put a happy face on the other.
Yeah.
Great. So now they're both sides are heads, right? There's the happy face there, and there's your T over here. Good. So we'll place that on the table, and I'm going to bring a cocktail napkin in here. Would you open that up for me?
Sure.
What I'm going to do while you're doing that, I'm going to take your coin and this pin. I'm going to place this, my little happy face right there, right in the middle of the napkin, and we'll fold that right over the top like that, and grab the whole thing like that, and twist it up into a little package like that, so you can see the coin right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what I'll do is I'll hold onto the coin like this, and take this pin and see if I can't make something interesting happen. Watch. We're just going to see if we can't push it right through the coin. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that weird?
It went right through the coin.
In fact, what I'd like you to do is to take the pin in your own hand and run it up and down and see if you can't feel it, the metal dragging along the sides of that. Isn't that bizarre?
It is so bizarre.
Grab a hold of the edge of the coin here and you'll feel that is, in fact, the solid coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now watch this part. This is the part I can't figure out, because once I get this through, when I pop the pin out like that, if I open this up, I'm going to show you that, just in case you're a little suspicious at all, there is your T, and there is my happy face, and I'm going to give you this pin as a souvenir. You go home and perform acupuncture on George and see if you can't work out how that was done, because I myself don't even know how I did that trick.
That's great.
Well, this is a real fooler when you can shove a solid object through another solid object. You're definitely going to raise some eyebrows. Obviously, you're using the folding coin, but in a fashion different than you might think. You're not actually folding the coin, you're actually spreading it open a little bit and allowing the pin to pass through. I'll show you how the mechanics of that work. First of all, though, you need to borrow a quarter, and you're going to do the ultimate utility move again, switching out the borrowed quarter for the folding coin. So I'll show you in presentation when that happens. Tiffany is here. I, of course, borrow the coin from her as soon as she brings it out. She, in fact, puts her T on the actual borrowed quarter. So I've got the happy face folding coin. Now, I've actually put the happy face on the folding coin. I've placed it on the face so that the bend in the coin goes right through the face vertically, and that comes into play later on. I'll show you, but first of all, get back to the presentation. I have that held in my hand, at the base of the fingers, ready to do the ultimate utility move switch. I tell Tiffany to bring a coin out, place it on the table, initial it. She does. At that point, I say, well, I'm going to do the other side and simply flip it over and put a happy face on it. I tell you what, we got George Washington on one side. I'm going to put a little smiley face, and so it all looks kind of spur of the moment, spontaneous, like you've just thought of that, and you put the little smiley face on there, and then blow on both sides and show it to the person so they know that, in fact, this is what the coin looks like, because it comes into play at the end of the trick when they verify that you indeed have shoved a coin or a pin right through that coin. Say, now I've got a napkin, Tiffany. Now, in order to give you a chance to switch the coin, you say, would you open that up for me? So you put them at work, and then that gives you a chance to switch this out. And now you've got the little smiley face, which reinforces. Now, you don't want to show the other side, so once you've switched it out and showing the smiley face, you don't flip it over, because they'll be looking for a T there. Now the napkin is opened, and I simply put the smiley face, and remember the bend is right there. What I'm going to be doing is wrapping this up in that little packet I showed you earlier, and before I do that, I want you to see what I'm doing as I grab it by the edges. Now remember, after I get this thing wrapped up in the napkin, I'm holding onto the coin much the same fashion I'm doing right now. And here's what I do before I stick the pin in. Now watch my fingers. I'm actually taking and squeezing the coin at the top and spreading it. There's a little gap that appears here, so I'm sort of kind of torquing the coin, sliding it open like that, and that gives you a little opening. Tiffany, would you take that?
Yeah.
And you'll see the little hole that appears kind of near the top. Just stick it through from the back. That's where it goes. So it isn't in the center of the coin. It's kind of 2/3 toward the top, but that's okay, because when they feel it and they're shoving that pin back and forth, they feel the resistance on it from the coin. So that's why when I wrap the coin up, I want the face facing me, because then I'll know where the crack in the coin is, so I can actually then squeeze it and open it up. Otherwise, if it's in there like this and you're trying to squeeze it, you'll never get it open because it's not going to slide open. All right, so I take the happy face and I put it right there in the napkin, facing me. I flop this right over the middle, and now I'm grabbing it and kind of bringing it out to the side like that. You want to give yourself a little slack. You can't have that really, really tight on the coin because you've got to have some movement in there. The paper has to give it a little bit as the coin slides. So you just leave a little slack in there and twist it, about an inch away from the end like that. So now there is a little play in there so I can actually spread the coin. And then you can display it, say, see, the coin's in there. They'll agree. And then I go right up to the top. Now I know that's my happy face, if you could see through that, is facing me, looking right at me. And at that point, as I grab for the pin, I'm actually doing the little squeeze move and spreading that thing open. You don't feel it so much. You just kind of trust that it's working. And then I go just where Tiffany put the pin a little earlier, about 2/3 up, and just start feeling around. There it is right there, and it punches right through. And once you've done that, they should be looking with their eyes wide open, going, wait a minute. Now you can let go of it and go back and hold it here where it's twisted and simply show it. And if it starts to fold, because there's a pin going through that, sometimes it might kind of start to fold up. Just hold it flat like that, holding both sides. Say, grab the pin, let them run it up and down like that while you're holding both sides of the coin so it doesn't flip-flop and start to fold on you. And after they're satisfied there, say, go ahead, even feel the edge of the coin. Now, at this point, I kind of push that coin tight together so they don't start folding it on me, and I'm holding it very, very firmly. Once they've done that and they're convinced of it, I say, God, that really is amazing. Now, this gives you a lot of time to reach down into your lap while you're showing this like this and pick up the coin that's in your lap, the one that's got her signature on it, because you're about ready to switch it out again for the real coin. So now that you've got that, say, wow, that's really weird. You bring up your hand, holding that in the curled fingers, and you're ready now to take the pin out. And that's when you start now to slowly untwist this. And it's best to untwist it from here rather than twist this hand, because you don't want people seeing in your hand, and sometimes you'll show the coin. So I just start to untwist it from here until you get it fairly untwisted, and then you actually reach up right underneath, and instead of showing this coin, which is there, I'm going to feed this one right into my fingers like that. So it's actually on top of the real coin, or the real folding coin is right down there, and I'm just planting that one in my fingers and say, wow, look at there. There's the happy face, there's the T. All their attention will be right there, and I just take and crunch the paper up like this and say, wow, that's amazing how I did that. And you get rid of all the evidence, and they're stuck with that, trying to figure out how in the world you shove that pin through that coin. Of course, don't let the cocktail waitress or the bartender pick this up, because it's going to be a costly mistake. Everybody loses at least one folding coin in their life by making a stupid mistake like that. So you can always go to www.jawdroppers.com and get another one. Just an added note, on many of these tricks here, I'm showing you the most elaborate version where you borrow a coin and switch it out using the ultimate utility move. Of course, you can do a more impromptu version if you're standing or you just don't want to go through all the business of switching the coin. Just bring out your folding coin and shove a pin through it. This next trick works the same way. I'll switch out the coin and return them their original coin. Again, for a shorter version, go ahead and just do it with the folding coin from the start. How'd you like to see a trick, Tiffany?
Yeah.
Can I borrow a quarter?
Okay.
All right. While you're digging that out, I'm going to take my finger ring. Tell you what, would you try and put that quarter through the finger ring and tell me whether or not it fits through the opening of the ring?
It will not go through there.
I think unless I were an NFL player and that were a Super Bowl ring, no way that's going to go through, right?
It's not going through.
Great. What I'd like you to do, Tiffany, is to put an initial or some mark on the head side of that quarter so you'll be able to recognize it again. All right. When you're making your T again, huh? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and stick with my little happy face. I like the happy face. And that'll go right there. A couple of eyes, a little smiley. Good. Now, I'm going to put the ring over here for the time being, and we'll tell you what, I'll place this right in the middle of my pocket handkerchief, like so. All right, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all four corners of the handkerchief and secure that little happy face and that little T coin right inside. In fact, would you take the ring, and we'll thread all four of those ends right through the ring.
Sure.
And push it right down on top of the coin. like so. In fact, if I open it up, you can actually look right down inside and see the coin on the other side of the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is to grab a hold of the ring, if you would.
Okay.
Great. You got a hold of it? Now you can see the coin out here, right? Meanwhile, hold the other ends up like this and keep it level to the table. I'm going to take the ring from you, if you would. Now, there's the coin. Doesn't fit through the ring, right? We've established that. Now, watch what happens. As I rotate the ring, it causes it to get hot. Friction causes that to actually make the ring expand and allows me to push the coin right through the ring. And why don't you just bring this right over the table, let go, and the coin will drop out. There's the T, there's the happy face, and there's the handkerchief, and all can be examined.
Wow.
A penetrating experience, wasn't it? Another great trick and a real stumper, and I hope that even knowing that it was a folding coin, you might have been a little fooled by my handling and my presentation. And if you were, that means your audience will be too when you present it. So let's take you through this. Of course, you borrow the coin. It is a legitimate coin that they come out with. You've got the folding coin in your hand from the start with the little happy face. But before you get into the signing of the coin, take your ring off and ask them to verify that, in fact, the coin doesn't go through the ring. So that gives them all a chance to handle the various items that they're going to be using in the trick. And once they're convinced of that, say, great. So we know that fact. Will you take and sign your initial? Of course, she signs the T, as she did. Then you, of course, put the happy face, matching the happy face on the folding coin. And now you're ready to do the switch again. This is when you introduce another item, allowing you to distract them with the handkerchief. Say, great, there's a handkerchief. I'm going to take the coin and we're going to place it right into the middle of the handkerchief. So I've now switched it for the folding coin and place happy side up, happy face, so they don't see the T is not on the other side. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. Now, you say, watch what I do, make sure I don't do anything sneaky. We're going to take all four corners and we're going to bring them together. And I'd like you to take the ring if you would. It's good to get them involved and have them put that through. And once they've threaded it, take it from them at that point. And we'll slide the ring right down on top of the coin. You can bounce it there like that. Now at this point I say, now watch, you know, even if you open this up, you can see the coin right on the other side. And then they'll look down. At that point you go into your lap. It gives you all the distraction to get down and get the coin that's in your lap. Say, look, you can see the coin right down inside of there. Now watch what I do. I've got the coin in my hand. I actually grab the coin in the ring right here like this and bring it up. Now that's not suspicious. It may seem to them for maybe a half a second, they say, why is he touching that? But once you get up here, all is legitimate. They see the coin, they see the ring in place, so it's no longer suspicious. It shouldn't be. Here's the coin in my hand underneath in the middle of the handkerchief. Say, would you grab that ring? Now let them have the ring. Don't say grab the coin, say grab the ring. At that point they grab the ring. Take your hand, now that you've let go of the ring, and swoop it right underneath. Just swoop it underneath and drop the coin that's in your hand, the right hand in my case, the one that's inside the handkerchief. I'm dropping the coin right into my left hand and gathering the four ends and say, would you hold these ends of the handkerchief? So that coin is now sitting right there in the folds of the handkerchief, inside. Very clever. Because that gives you the chance to say, now, would you give me the ring? They turn this whole end of the handkerchief over to you at this point, and you do the rest. You say, there's the coin. You can be very open now. Say, we've established it doesn't fit. You can even clink it a little bit, and they say, yeah. So at this point, you want to rotate the ring in your fingers. And as I'm doing that, I'm feeling for the coin. I'm feeling where the bend is. And as I feel it bend in my fingers, I can kind of adjust the position of the coin if I need to, so that I just push it right through, almost visibly, just push it right through like that, and let the ring drop to the table. And at that point, reach up, grab the folding coin in your fingers, then take control of their hand. Say, reach and bring it right over the table. Say, let go of that. And then what will happen is, of course, the marked coin, the legitimate one, will just fall to the table. And I'm still got the folding coin here. And as soon as that does, I just bring it over here, right off the edge of the table, and drop it down a little bit, drop the folding coin into my lap, and then you can throw this on the table, and you're completely clean. All the heat is going to be on this coin, so no one's going to watch you take and bring this to the edge of the table. And just look over here as that coin drops, say, wow, that's amazing, and then throw that out on the table like that, and you're completely clean, and no one will ever figure out how you made that magic happen. Hey, Tiffany, have you ever seen those bottles that have a ship inside of them? Some model builder? Yeah, he gets in there somehow and intricately. I have no idea, but I want to try something similar. Have you got a quarter I can borrow?
Yeah, probably.
Because I've got my beer bottle.